Oh, hey! Didn't notice you there, as I was busy tending to the grapes in 100 Days Winemaking Simulator. You know what? Slap on some sunscreen and I'll give you a tour of the vineyards. Come on, let's go. Here, at 100 Days, you are tasked with running a winery from growing the grapes to bottling to selling our prestigious wine to customers. We also offer the finest of options when it comes to game modes. Our impeccable offerings include Endless Mode, which, as the name implies, a do as you desire sandbox mode, the Challenge Mode, where you are given specific goals to reach within specific time frames, and finally, the Story Mode. Okay, so dropping the pretend to be a winemaker manager thing. Okay, so the story mode in this game pits you as Emma, a bored office worker in London who receives a letter from an old man in the countryside, imploring her to inherit his winemaking business. Of course, Emma accepts,
My
and
dearest
so
Emma,
begins her journey in running
I
a
doubt you
successful
remember me.
winery.
My name is Beppe and I am an enologist. Winemaking has ruled my life as a tyrant, devouring any free time I had, until I have reached the end of my journey, still chasing the perfect wine.
The story is told through character portraits and text, so there will be a lot of reading. The friendly locals have been tasked by the old man to teach you the ropes of the business and winemaking, so that will act as a tutorial of sorts into the mechanics of the game. The story itself was pretty boring, I must admit, and read like what I assumed to be a teen novel or something. I found it pretty painful to sit through, and after a while, I just gave up and jumped into the endless mode instead. Gameplay wise, there are a number of tasks that you must perform in order to produce your wine. All these tasks are performed by you selecting the tiles and dragging them into a grid in the middle of the winery. The tiles are each shaped differently and vary in turns required to complete, so you need to slot them into the grid in a way to maximize the number of tasks performed each turn. The tiles aren't always available and will only show up for you to choose as certain conditions arise. On top of your winemaking tasks, you also have to manage your tools, warehousing, and winemaking equipment via various buildings surrounding the vineyard. You can upgrade each building and acquire new technologies and equipment along the way. The game also has you naming and designing your own bottles and labels by selecting from a range of options. You will also be tasked with sales as orders come in and managing the overall finances of the business. Aside from the grid, the system is fairly standard turn-based simulation tycoon gameplay, but I found the style in 100 Days to be dull and tedious at times. In terms of graphics, the art style is fairly simple and nothing really stands out as graphically intensive or anything. Everything is in solid, simple colors, and for the most part, given that the game is mostly menus and text anyway, works pretty well. I'm not even gonna bother speaking about the sound, as it is as forgettable as they come. I barely noticed that there was anything playing in the background, so that's how forgettable it was. So, my verdict on this game is though I'm a fan of simulation and tycoon games, I really couldn't find myself getting into 100 Days, so it's a not recommended for me. I couldn't stand the story, and I found the whole grid and panel system to be restrictive and boring. The game felt more tedious than fun, so I don't think I'm going to touch this game again. In fact, I'm uninstalling it as we speak. This concludes our tour of 100 Days Winemaking Simulator. If you enjoyed your visit, please leave a comment, like, and consider joining our exclusive club by subscribing. Don't forget to enter the maelstrom on your way to the exit. This has been your winery manager, Kieran. Ta ta.